Please be seated. Friends and family, we're gathered here today to celebrate the marriage of Joe and Denise. I have a feeling you share in their joy and in their commitment to each other just as I do. It always surprises me that two people who are on very different life paths cross, maybe just by accident, and decide to follow one path together as husband and wife. In marriage, two persons turn to each other in search of a greater fulfillment than either can achieve alone. Marriage is a going forth, it's a step into the future, it's risking what we are for the sake of what we yet can be. In giving of oneself and sharing with another, the mysterious process of growth takes place. The decision to marry is not to be entered into lightly, but is to be taken with great consideration for your own feelings and for the feelings of one another's hearts. Denise and Joe, I think you've made a promise a long time ago to each other, but today we ask you to make it publicly in front of your family and friends. Throughout your marriage, you must promise to keep love close to your hearts so that you never grow apart. Confide in each other and do not doubt each other's words without first listening to the feelings in each of your hearts. Support each other in everything you try to accomplish, for your individual goals have become common goals to achieve together. Look back on the good times and on the bad times too with a smile, knowing that you can learn from each and every mistake, from each and every joy in your lives, how to make your home a happy, loving place. Offer each other all of the happiness you are able to give. See that the future is yours to make the best of. Set time aside to be best friends, to dream dreams together, and to make those dreams come true. And set aside special times to say, I love you. Denise and Joe have asked me to read what Theodore Parker, a 19th century Unitarian preacher, had to say about marriage. It takes years to marry completely two hearts, even the most loving and well-assorted. A happy wedlock is a long falling in love. Young people think love belongs only to the brown-haired and the crimson-cheeked. So it does for its beginning. But the golden marriage is a part of love which the bridal day knows nothing of. A perfect and complete marriage, where wedlock is everything you could ask it to be. It is the ideal of marriage that becomes actual. This is not common, perhaps as rare as personal perfect beauty. Men and women marry fractionally, now a small fraction, then a large fraction. Very few are married totally, and then only after many, many years of gradual approach and experiment. Such a large and sweet fruit is a complete marriage that it needs a long summer to ripen in, and then a long winter to mellow and season it. But a real, happy marriage of love and judgment between a noble man and woman is one of the things so very handsome that if the sun were, as the Greek poets fabled, a god, he might stop the world and hold it still now, and then take a look at it all day long, as such an example of fine love that he must feast his eyes on such a spectacle. This is my absolute favorite time of year, and certainly my favorite time to do weddings. It's such a glorious day today. I was here last weekend and it rained, so I think we're especially blessed today to have such a gorgeous day. We stand expectantly on the very edge of the seasons. The heat of summer will soon be over. The lush green of summer will slowly give way to all the glorious colors that we'll have this fall. Nature stands on the very brink of darkness and cold. Soon, and it's hard to believe this right now, it will be cold again. But today we can revel in the beauty, not only the beauty of the season, but also the beauty of Joe's and Denise's love for one another. On a day like this, it's a little hard to imagine that in a month or so, winter will be here. Then the world will seem dark and bleak and cold, compared to the bouquet of scents and flowers that we have today. Of course, there will be days in the middle of January and February, barely 3 months from now, when it will be hard to imagine that one could ever be warm again, that there could be so much life in the world outside. And yet, even then, bulbs and seeds lie dormant in the frozen soil. It will only be a matter of time before they too blossom into the lush beauty we enjoy today. The seeds of your love, Denise and Joe, were sown long ago. They fell on fertile soil and have become, after many shared experiences, the relationship we are celebrating today. With a little tending, your love will continue to grow and to blossom all the days of your lives. There's a Chinese poem I like that speaks to the never-ending process of growth that is your love. You and I have so much love that it burns like a fire, in which we bake a lump of clay, molded into a figure of you and into a figure of me. Then we take both of them and we break them into pieces and mix the pieces with water and mold again a figure of you and a figure of me. I am in your clay, you are in my clay. In life we share a single quilt. In death we shall share one bed. In the time since your first meeting, you two have mixed your clay and molded new figures of one another. You've combined bits of each other each time you've done that. In the years ahead, you will continue to do so. You have grown together, you have already become part of one another, and the process will go on and on. You will be broken and put back together many times during your lives, and each time a little more of the other is going to be mixed into the clay that is yourself. The point is that you'll always be changing and growing, and there's no way to make time stand still. And whether you change and grow in ways that are compatible with one another is partly a matter of chance, but it also takes a lot of work to achieve. The Chinese imagine a married couple as two birds that share one wing. The soaring of your two spirits depends on your ability to rely on each other and to fly together. I pray that you might fly high and very far together. Joe and Denise, you two have stood apart and now you stand together. You have come to declare your love and to be united in marriage. You are here in the presence of these, your family and friends, and before them I ask you to affirm your willingness to enter into the covenant of marriage. Joe, will you have Denise to be your wife, forsaking all others? And will you love her faithfully as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Denise, will you have Joe to be your husband, forsaking all others? And will you love him faithfully as long as you both shall live? I will. Now I ask the parents of this couple, Karen, Joe, Rhonda, Dorothy, and Jerry, do you offer your blessing and loving support to this marriage? And you, the rest of you out there, do you pledge your support and encouragement to the covenant commitment that Denise and Joe are making together today? Say we will. Denise, Joe, you are about to enter into a union which is most sacred and most serious. It will bind you together for a life and relationship so close and so intimate that it will profoundly affect your whole future. That future, with its hopes and disappointments, its successes and its failures, its pleasures and its pains, its joys and its sorrows, is hidden from our eyes. Love can make it easy, and perfect love can make it a joy. May then this love with which you join your hands and hearts today never fail, but grow deeper and stronger as the years go by. Now would you turn to each other and holding hands, say your vows of love and commitment.
Joe, this day that I pledge my love for you, in front of our family and friends, there was a time in our lives when we were afraid of falling in love, of giving our hearts away, of trusting someone else. Joe, when I met you, all those fears were gone. You loved me for who I was. No judgments, no preconceived notions. You have renewed my life. You have filled my canyons of my soul. You have brought warmth to my cold, light to my darkness. Today I pledge to join my life with yours. And I pledge my love for you in front of everyone. And Joe, I love you. I love you because you love me for who I am, because you are my best friend. I promise to stand to you, to be fair and honest, to accept you for who you are, and to forget our past and to move on with our future. I will be there through the tough times and the joyful times, through sadness and happiness, through pain and misery. I will trust and honor you and love you faithfully always. Whatever we may face in our future, I will always be there. I will be strong and supportive, and in adverse times as well as good times. Even though it has taken some pain and struggle to develop an everlasting relationship, I would relive every moment, knowing that you were there at the end. In my darkest times and in my coldest silence, I looked to you and you were there, full of understanding and, of course, advice. You are truly my knight in shining armor. You have helped and saved me in so many ways, and for that I am thankful. I believe we were meant to be from the start. I am honored that you will have me for your wife, and I am proud to have you for my husband. Whatever lies ahead, good or bad, we will face it together. Distance may test us from time to time, but time may try us too. But if we look to each other first, we will always see a friend. Joe, I'm asking you to look to me for all the days to come. And when you do, I will be there as your best friend.
Denise. Well, here we are. I never thought it would be possible that one day I would stand here and tell the person I love, no matter how strong I thought I was, I could not live without them. I was so sure of my independence until I met you. You've given me a sense of completion that makes me feel like I can accomplish anything. In approximately 1 month, we have celebrated 5 short years together. There have been some of the happiest times of my life, and with no regrets, some of the hardest times of my life. But as one, you have shown me what can be accomplished with love. Just look at the family we've created. First, there's you, Denise. It was a Friday evening. We were supposed to go out as friends. We decided we'd go home and change clothes at my house. As I came down the stairs, there stood before me an angel in blue jeans and heels. A vision that the sun's brightest glare could not block. After an unforgettable evening, I drove you home. As I dropped you off at your front door, I don't remember dying, but I do recall going to a better place. I just had found the other half of my soul. Secondly, although officially she is not mine, there's Caitlin. With all the love I have in my heart, I see a stubborn, 11-year-old child that is growing to be a beautiful young woman that not only shares the beauty of her mother, but shows a strong will as well. Next, we brought Samantha into the world. That day, there she was, a 7-pound, 16-ounce combination of us. She was proof that only your perfection could overcome my flaws. I remember standing there with your hand in mine, crying like the beautiful baby girl we just created, thinking to myself, I will be surrounded by beauty and perfection for the rest of my life. Look at her, Denise. We did that. Ran away.
That's your stubbornness, by the way.
Yes. I vow to the best of my ability to love and guide them through life. Truly, I love both of my daughters. So now here we are. Although my careers sometimes keep us apart, I am never alone because I hold you deep inside my heart. Denise Francis, soon to be Ramshew, I thank you. I thank you for not only teaching me to think other than myself, but showing the meaning of how important it is to love. As I stand here today on September 21st, 2002, I pledge my love for you before God, our children, and our family and friends. I vow to make you my wife. I vow to make you my life. Denise, I love you.
Have the rings, please. We are to witness now the sealing of your promise with these rings, sign and token before the world you will create together, single, whole, and quiet, within the world outside. Together you are one. As one, you are a world. First, Denise. With this ring, I wed,
With this ring I thee wed,
and pledge my everlasting love.
and pledge my everlasting love.
It's okay. With this ring I thee wed,
With this ring I thee wed,
and pledge my everlasting love.
and pledge my everlasting love.
Denise and Joe have brought light and meaning into each other's lives. They are unique individuals with their own personalities and their own strengths. Their individuality is symbolized by the two burning candles. Now they will light the center candle to symbolize the fact that something new has been created. May the light of their shared journey burn brightly from this day forth. Denise and Joe, your gift to each other for your wedding today has been your wedding rings, which will always be an outward demonstration of your vows of love and respect, and a public showing of your commitment to one another. You have now what is the most honorable title that a man and a woman can share, the title of husband and wife. Your first gift to each other as husband and wife shall be a single red rose. In the past, the rose was considered a symbol of love, and a single rose always meant only one thing: I love you. So it is appropriate that your first gift as husband and wife should be a rose. It's always meant to say, I love you. I ask you now to exchange this first gift as husband and wife. In some ways, it seems as though you haven't done anything at all. Just a moment ago, you were each holding a single red rose, and now you're still holding a single red rose. In some ways, tomorrow is going to seem no different from today, from yesterday. It'll be yesterday tomorrow, but today. But in fact, today, just now, you both gave and received one of the most valuable and precious gifts of life. It is one I hope you will always remember, the gift of true and abiding love within the relationship of marriage. Joe and Denise, would ask that wherever you make your home in the future, whether it be a large and elegant home or a small and graceful one, you both pick one very special location for roses, so that on each anniversary of this truly wonderful occasion, you may both take a rose to that spot as a recommitment not only to your marriage, but also as a recommitment to your marriage based on love and on respect. In every marriage, there are times when it's difficult to find the right words. It's easiest to hurt the one you love most. It's easiest to be hurt by the one who loves you the most. It might be difficult sometimes to say, I'm sorry, or I forgive you, or I need you, or I'm hurting. If this should ever happen, if you simply cannot find the right words, leave a single rose at that spot which both of you have selected, for that rose will say more than of what matters most of all, and should empower you to live your lives anew. That rose will say the words, I still love you. The other person should accept that rose for the words which cannot be found, and remember the love and the hope that you feel towards each other today. Joe and Denise, if there's anything you remember of this marriage ceremony, it should be the love that brought you here today. It is only love which can make it a glorious union, and it is by love that your marriage shall endure. We've neglected two rather important items, Kayla and Samantha. You two have a part to play in this new marriage. Your lives, too, will change with the making of this new family. Sometimes life is going to be more complicated than it ever was, but your life together will also bring many moments of wonderful joy. What each of you adds personally will make everyone just a little bit happier. One thing's for sure, you'll never be alone. You or your parents are together now and will always have each other. Know that together your new family can weave a fabric of mutual support, of challenge, and of help. Know that together you can build a home where all of you are encouraged to grow into the fullness of your promise, a home at whose heart there will be love and caring and affirmation for each and every one of you. And now, inasmuch as you have pledged yourselves each to the other in my presence, by the authority vested in me by Elliott Unitarian Chapel and the state of Missouri, but most of all by the power of your very own love, I pronounce you husband and wife. To Joe and Denise, I have one more thing to say. Remember that planning the wedding, though it probably never seemed like it, was the easy part of all this. Planning and keeping a marriage is much, much harder. Do not think that you have finished anything here today. This service is but the mark of a fresh beginning. Today, before all the world, you hold lighted the lamp of love. Keep that lamp lit. Replenish the source of its life with light with daily care. Keep alive your strong commitment to care for one another. Work hard to create a home where both of you are honored and nourished. Share responsibilities. Respect each other's viewpoints, knowing that there will be times when you disagree, but never letting your differences diminish either of you. Listen to each other, be gentle with each other, and work hard at keeping your lamp of love flaming and strong. And now let us pray. We pray for concord and creativity, as well as for love and laughter in Joe and Denise's life together. And when there is pain, may there be peace that passes not away. May they have love to share with other people. May their home be a temple for that which is beautiful and good and true. As they share the richer experiences of life, may their hearts and minds and souls be knotted ever more closely together, and yet may their bonds of sympathy strengthen their separate personalities. May they have courage when the road is rough, and humility when fortune favors them. May they carry the past gratefully with them in all the years of their sojourn together, and with an equal measure of hope, ever face the future unafraid. Amen. And now it is my great pleasure to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Joe Ramshew.